With a number of weapons to choose from in Valorant, players will need to have a vast understanding of them all. Shotguns might be overlooked, but definitely shouldn't be forgotten. They're some of the most powerful guns available. Today, we're going to take a look at the Bucky and the Judge. We'll let you know how they match up against each other, when to buy them, and a few tips that'll help you in any short-range battle. Both shotguns pack quite a punch with their similar damage outputs and effective ranges. However, they have two very different firing rates and methods. Starting things off, the Bucky is a semi-auto shotgun, while the Judge is fully automatic. They both produce a similar wide cluster of shells when fired. The Judge's spread starts off tighter than the Bucky's, but grows tremendously when rapidly firing. And unlike the other weapons, the only method players have for tightening the spread is by crouching. The Bucky is unique among shotguns in that it has a secondary fire, the airburst. When right-clicking, a single shell will propel forward and explode into a tight burst of pellets. This improves the Bucky's damage at slightly further ranges, but be aware, if the target is too close, the initial shell just won't explode, causing you to deal very little damage. The Judge has no secondary fire. Looking at the bullet count for both weapons, the Bucky holds 5 shells at the ready with a total of 15. The Judge nearly doubles the ammo count, sitting at 28 shells, 7 shells on the drum. When it comes to firing rate, the Bucky doesn't exactly shine. Boasting a rate of fire of 1.1 rounds a second, the Bucky is one of the slowest firing weapons in the game. The secondary airburst shares the same rate of fire. The Judge, over 3 times faster than the Bucky, 3.5 rounds a second. Comparing the ranges, the Bucky operates best in extremely close quarters. With the Bucky, you're going to want to look to keep your targets within 8 meters when trying to use the primary fire. At this range, expect to do 22 to the body, 44 to the head, and 19 to the leg with each pellet. Might not sound like much, but you're shooting 15 pellets at a time, so you're going to get it in. Remember that the Bucky can work in further ranges when using secondary fire. Each pellet still does the same amount of damage, but the tight cluster will allow you to operate within the 10 to 15 meter range. Within 10 meters, you'll also find success with the Judge. Firing 12 pellets a shot, each one gives you 17 to the body, 34 to the head, and 14 to the leg. Regardless of which shotgun you prefer, you'll find yourself decimating anyone who gets too close. You can try your luck when it comes to firing at targets far away. But not only do both of these weapons suffer from damage drop-off, but you more than likely only hit your target with a handful of pellets, doing barely any damage. So with everything we've learned about these weapons so far, the question is, when should you expect to see them? The Bucky has a really low price tag, only 900 credits. The Judge, however, is pricey at 1,500 credits. Not a huge investment, but a decent chunk to consider, especially when you look at some of the other options. With their relatively low costs, both shotguns are effective weapons when you're looking to save and still leave a mark on the enemy team. Overall, if your team is low on funds, but looking to play aggressive, then these are definitely the guns for you. A team rushing around a corner, all armed with Buckys and Judges, is a terrifying sight. Both shotties can easily one-shot someone if they're too close, but the Judge is much more forgiving with a high rate of fire. The Bucky can still do work though, just don't forget to use the secondary fire. You'll see most players run SMGs and rifles, but don't overlook the shotguns. They may seem like bulky and slow guns, because they are, but a well-placed shot can absolutely turn the tide. Control corners and tight corridors with the overwhelming power of the Bucky and the Judge.